Hello and welcome to Module 2. So I know that Module 1 was basically just getting started with everything, but I just wanted to give a few reminders as to placement request and how observation journals and your observation plan worksheet are going to go before we move into Module 2. So just remember, it is your responsibility to fill out the paperwork for the school district that you would like to complete your hours in, but HR has requested that you not contact the schools directly until you have been assigned your placement. So basically the way the process works is you fill out the placement request form, send it to me so that I can sign it, and then I will forward it on to the appropriate HR person. They will then email me back with your placement information, so the school, the teacher, the grade, things like that. And as soon as I receive it, I will be forwarding it to you. So once you have given me the paperwork and you've gotten my response that I've sent it on, at that point, we're just waiting for HR to get back to me. So I know that it can get frustrating sometimes while we're waiting for somebody else to get all of our paperwork squared away, but it's the only way that the process works, and it's something that's regulated by the state, so we really don't have any control over that. And also, as a reminder, if you are going to be completing your observation hours in a private school, it does need to be an accredited school. Again, that's a requirement of the Department of Education. So just make sure that they are accredited by some accrediting body so that you can complete your hours there if that's what you're choosing to do. So while you are in the process of waiting for your placement request, last week I had you working on the first draft of your teaching philosophy, and so this week you're going to see, as we get into Module 2, there's going to be much more information that you may possibly want to be adding to your philosophy as you are revising it. And also, remember that you're not going to be submitting your observation plan worksheet until you have been assigned someplace to complete your hours. Same thing goes for the observation journals. So as I mentioned in Module 1, there's going to be 8 journals that you're going to be completing, but obviously you can't do them until you get into the classroom. So while Module 2 says that you should be completing Journal 1 and Journal 2, I completely understand that if you have not been assigned a placement yet, you can't complete that. So basically, I have rolling due dates for the observation journals. As long as all of them are done by the end of the semester, then you're going to be fine. So when you see something like it says in Module 2, complete Journals 1 and 2, that's a suggestion if you are in the classroom already, just to kind of keep you on pace, but you are not going to be penalized if you're not able to complete the first 2 journal entries because you haven't been able to get into the classroom yet. So just wanted to make sure that you weren't panicking about that, but I would definitely recommend that as soon as you are in the classroom, take a look at those topics again so that you can go ahead and start knocking them out. The last thing before moving on to Module 2, several of the school districts have requirements that say that before a student can be placed in the classroom, they either have to have already had a clear background check and fingerprinting and a negative TB test or screen, or at least be in the process of it. And so I wanted to show you that if you have not had the opportunity to complete those yet, that I have put a new module in your in our course called Background Check Procedures. We have an agreement with a company called Castle Branch who takes care of the background check and the fingerprinting. It's still up to you to get the TB test done, but if you have not had this done in the last couple of years, then I would definitely recommend starting the process. In the state of Virginia, it is a requirement that anyone who is working in the schools or with children have a background check, fingerprints, and the negative TB test or screen. So this is something you're going to have to do anyways. If you have one done within the last couple of years, then that's perfectly fine. That's all that we need. But if you haven't, I would definitely recommend starting this process. When it comes to the TB test or screening, you can go to your doctor or you can go to many of the pharmacies. My understanding is now they do a screening as opposed to actually having to take the test. So as long as you don't have any of the risk factors for TB, then they will sign off on that. So just wanted to give you a heads up on some of the things that I'm learning from the different school districts. So getting into Module 2. So Module 2 is going to cover 2 weeks. And so you're going to be looking at the history of education, some of the philosophies that have kind of guided and framed education over the years. And so when you look at what is in this module, you're going to notice that in the textbook, you're going to be working chapters 9 through 11. So I've included the PowerPoints for those chapters. And then I have included a lot of different links for you. Now, I don't expect that you are going to read every single word that is in each one of these links, but I would definitely recommend at least clicking through them to see if there's anything that you're going to want to use, maybe as you are continuing to revise your philosophy. Or just something that you think would be really interesting, or it's something you can use in the future. So a lot of times when you look at the modules, you might worry because it looks like there's so much in there. Please know that I'm just trying to provide you with as many resources as possible to help make this course and the assignments more manageable for you. So when you look at your Module 2 assignments, there's really only 2 things that you're going to be looking at. The first one, you have another discussion board. Please don't forget that not only do you need to post your reply, but you need to reply to at least 2 of your classmates in order to get full credit. And so this module's discussion board is focusing on psychological theories, specifically looking at cognitive and behavioral theories. So hopefully this is something that is not only going to sound familiar to you, but is going to give you an opportunity to practically think through how we can use theories in the classroom. And then again, I have included the links for the journals. Again, if you are not in the classroom, you cannot complete these yet, but in each module, I will put this link so that it's easier for you to find it. So this module, like I said, is going to cover 2 weeks, and so I will be working during this module to get the first draft of your teaching philosophies graded and back to you so that you have my feedback. You're going to be revising it again in Module 3. So you're going to be taking information from the textbook, some of the other resources, and your time in the classroom to kind of build and add to your philosophy. So I will get those back to you in this module so that you have enough time to get them revised before the second draft is due. So again, be patient as we're waiting for the HR departments to get back to us, but please know that I do everything as quickly as possible. As soon as I get it from you, I send it to them, and as soon as I hear back from them, I will get it back to you. So in the meantime, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. That's what I'm here for. But in the meantime, enjoy Module 2, learning about the history of education and seeing where we've come from and where we are going in the future. So have a great next 2 weeks, and I will see you in Module 3.